That's got to be one of the most like surreal moments.
Surreal moments, because in the moment we didn't know the history that we were
Right.
making.
Hmm. So, but kind of before we wrap it up, I want to definitely talk about obviously the level of success that you had in college was probably one of the best college football kickers of all
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
Like, there's not even a question about it. And you kind of alluded to it, like the level of success with Florida State's offense provided that opportunity for you to have that many opportunities,
Yep.
obviously, to succeed. But I mean, you were hitting everything.
Hmm.
I think you finished close to 90% in your career
Yep. Yep.
at Florida State, and obviously a ton of hype going into the next level, right? And were you the highest drafted kicker of all time in the NFL?
No.
Oh,
Highest drafted was Sebastian Janikowski. He was
oh,
first
really?
round.
He
I
was a
think
first round.
17.
That's
I
right.
think
Yeah, yeah,
17th or
yeah, yeah.
18th
That's right.
overall.
But obviously, ton of hype going
Yeah.
into it. Talk to me about that whole like draft process, the hype going into the NFL, and then just being in the NFL in general.
Yeah. Now that I'm older, I've had conversations and interviews of this where like I've
Hmm.
talked about it, but like as you get older and like you gain more knowledge and you look back and then you can reflect,
Yeah.
you find different things that you know that you could have done differently or popped up or like you know could have done better here, or understand like the reason of success. Maybe that's why the reason of success of why like I'm so into it is like you know what the success and what causes you not to have success and
Right.
how quickly can you get out of that to get back to being
Hmm.
on track. um, I think transitioning from Florida State to the draft, there's also like a lot of other things that can go into it. um, I want to write a book one day. Like I've started the process, but
Hmm.
I think it'd be good because I get a lot of questions about it, and
Yeah.
like especially helping younger guys and like guys going through the same situation. I've had questions about it, and like just to pass on that knowledge. Where I think coming in, no expect. Okay, so here's going back to the redshirt year. I think that was huge for me because small high school, like no real like
Right.
going into Doak Campbell. Like I remember my freshman year, I was kicking to the returners. I was backup. I was backing up Dustin, but I was
Hmm.
kicking to the returners, and it was my first time walking out of Doak. I was so nervous. Like I was like, so I was kicking to the returners from like our own 40, but I was hitting into the stadium. Like I couldn't like I was too amped. Like I was like, Coach Eddie was like, "Are you kicking to the stands?" Like, calm down. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
all right,
can't.
coach. Like, it's my
I'm
first time out
trying.
here. Like there's like this is like crazy. Like I'm hyped. Like I don't know. Like it's just so. But I think traveling with the team, understanding like how everything was operating,
Right.
like what you should do. Like when should I do my homework? When should I complete my school? Like can I do
Hmm.
it on the road? Can I not?
True.
Like like what should I eat before bed before the game to make me like. So I got to work all those kinks out. That freshman year, we're coming into that my redshirt freshman
Right.
year.
You're already comfortable with
I was
all
already
that.
comfortable. I had a year under my belt. The only thing I didn't do was actually play in a game.
Hmm.
But I was on the sidelines. I was kick pregame. I was at the NC State game when we lost to when Mike Glennon beat us 17-16. Oh
Mm.
my
Yeah, I
gosh!
remember that game.
I remember Terrence Brooks came in there to the locker room just
Pissed.
pissed, throwing his helmet, like crying, like and like I didn't play,
Yeah.
so like I was just like in the corner, like
Yeah,
I didn't do it, like
it wasn't my fault. Yeah, yeah.
but like it was kind of like damn, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like
It could get intense
it
in
could
here.
get intense,
Yeah.
like shit. Like, this isn't high school, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that I think helped transitioning to that next year. Now from college being drafted, I was projected to go. My agents were saying second to fourth. I was like, okay. I was like, second. Like, I was like, I don't even know the last kicker to
You
go in
were,
the
yeah,
second
yeah.
round. Mike Nugent in 2005 was the last kicker to go in the second round.
Hmm.
So draft day comes. Tampa never really spoke to me. They came to my pro day. The coach asked me to kick some kickoffs to the side, but that was about it. I didn't really know who. I didn't really have an idea.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of like back to the college offers, like whatever happens, happens, whatever city I go to. I just wanted to be in a warm city. Like grew
You
up in
didn't wanna,
Florida,
yeah,
like
be in the cold weather.
kicking in the cold sucks.
Yeah.
Um, but that's really it. And I end up getting I can tell the draft day story, but I'll speed it up. But anyways, I get a call, I get drafted, and Florida, Tampa, okay. You get drafted, but the biggest thing that many people don't know, and like I would say I wouldn't put all the blame on this, but this was partially why. I think it was a lot of things that came together. I was going through a swing change after my last game at Florida State, like the Atlanta, when we played in Atlanta, we lost to Houston. And after that game, like I was already like my groin would hurt, my lower back would hurt, and it was the way I kicked. This was over time, like through Florida State. Like
Right.
I would try to like, cold tub, contrast, like roll out. But I'm like, there has to be an easier way. Like there has to be a more efficient way. And I would watch a lot of film and like guys that would swing it. In golf, like my swing was very wedgy, like very, very wedgy, scoopy, a lot of groin, smaller muscle. And a lot of the guys that ended up kicking like that would end up getting hurt because Dustin would kick like that. So watching him for a year, you kind of like
You almost gravitate.
you almost
to it.
gravitate to the same like mannerisms.
Of course, yeah.
He ends up tearing his groin, and when he's at Buffalo. Caleb Sturgis also tore his groin. He
There's
kicked
like
the same
a pattern
way.
of
Yeah,
like
there's a
that
pattern.
kicking style.
Cairo Santos tore it same way.
Wow.
And then you would see the guys that didn't hit it that way and hit it more with using more of their quad, staying up taller. They're not scrunching.
Right.
They're very. It looks like they don't even try, and it goes far. You know what I mean? So I was like, it's kind of like Tiger in 2000 when he switched his swing. He was very across the line, very long. Like he was wanting to get better, right? An injury, So I was like, I can do this. Like, let me just, like, you know what I mean? Like, let me just stand taller. Let me, I wasn't completely ready after I got drafted. I was like, it's still like, it feels weird. You're completely changing something in your body. And like, and as going into spring ball, like OTAs, it was fine. There wasn't that many pressure, like how much pressure, like after getting drafted, whatever. And like, I was like, all right, I got the summer to I got OTAs to kind of figure it out. It was okay. Like I ended up like 85, 88% during OTAs. And then going into camp, like I was like not completely as confident. Like you play golf. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like when you're
I just went through this with my swing change. Like I lost all confidence in my golf swing because started from, a more out to, into out swing, right? To a more like, I got to remove this over the topness and I got to come more into out, right?
Yes.
And it was just like, I have no feel for this.
No feel, no confidence.
None.
Like, I don't know where the ball's going to go.
100%.
So part of it is like a concoction of being drafted that high. I remember sitting in preseason and camp, and we had Hard Knocks. Or no, Hard Knocks was the next year. But we, the first year, I sat next to Gerald McCoy. And Coach Cutter goes over like the goals of this year. Like one of the big goals is like our field goal percentage needs to go up. And this was last year's. This is what we want to be like this year. And Gerald McCoy gets up and he's like, "Oh, coach, like we're good." He's like, "We got this guy. This guy's not gonna miss.
Yeah,
he's the second round."
Like,
I want to be like, "Bro, chill."
Yeah,
yeah.
You don't gotta put me up that high.
I appreciate it, but like,
yeah,
like internally, like I'm going through this. You know, you don't want to be like, I'm going through a swing change. Like, I'm not, you know what I
Right.
mean?
You don't want
Like,
to like make
you don't want to
excuses or
make
anything like that.
excuses. Like,
But
you know,
internally, like shit, like I
shit.
am
Like,
doing this right now and I don't feel great about it.
exactly. Like, you know, second round on your back. Like, half the fan base probably didn't like me getting picked that high. They're like, you know, we could have picked another,
Hmm.
you know, and like I go out to my first preseason game and I miss. I hit it off the upright. And I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, and then I missed a couple, but like I never really had the confidence. And like the same like as this Florida State coming in and like kind of like, you know, when things are grooving and like and first going into the game or going into the season, I miss. I make my first kick in Atlanta. I remember. I don't know if I missed one there, but I missed a couple, and I could never just get on a groove of like confidence. I was like, my swing isn't ready. Tampa, or when we went to go play Monday night in Carolina that year. At that point, it was like the 6th or 7th game. I don't know if you can look up the when the schedule was, but dude, we go. I missed. I want to say 2 field goals. I was 2 for 4, and we had a drive to win the game for a field goal. And at that moment, like after missing like 2 kicks, you're kind of like, and I had never, keep in mind, I had never went through adversity like this.
Mhm.
Florida State was like
Yeah, you were in cruise control out there.
cruise control, never
Mhm.
missed. Like, so one, going through the swing change was one whole thing.
Mhm.
And then 2, I had never dealt with this much adversity where like I didn't know how to deal with it of like what like how do I gotta do to like mentally prepare myself to
Right.
be like forget up like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
easier said than done. Be like, oh man,
Like you
like
miss a kick, like
yeah,
how do I
yeah,
just bounce back from
yeah,
it?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Like in
where for
golf where they're
you,
like, oh, just hit the ball, like you know, just
yeah,
be smooth. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it can be easy to say those and like yeah, like oh, like yeah, I get it, but
One
like
thing to in the moment
one
actually
thing to end the
execute that.
moment. And one, it's unfamiliar. You never been through this. You're kind of
Mhm.
like, and like 2, you don't want. I've always been looked at. I wouldn't call myself this, but like it was almost like I was Superman and like I lost my powers.
Mm.
And you know
Yeah.
in the movies where
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
kind of like gets hit and he's like,
Oh,
I'm
what
just
the
I don't
hell?
know. I don't
Yeah.
know. So it was kind of that like in that moment where like I don't know, like I've never been through it and like missing and like when I would go out to in Tampa to like people would be like, oh, like that's the, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the stares, you
you
and like I
get that
never went through that
reputation.
either. So I
Yeah.
was like, yo, like
All that stuff just kind of
all that
starts
stuff,
messing with your head.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And you're like, I don't want to miss. People don't know I'm going through a swing change.
Yeah.
Also, like, yeah, I have missed, but like I'm struggling to like not be liked, but like never be the person that like, oh, like he's not doing his job.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's very similar when you see these guys of any position, right? High draft pick, the
yeah,
the reputation and kind of the what's the word? Like the expectation.
Yep.
Yeah, the expectation of these guys is so high that the moment you don't match this expectation that's placed on you, it's like,
Yeah.
holy cow, I'm a failure. Holy cow, this,
Yeah.
you know, and you just start getting in your head.
Yeah.
And reality is, it's probably furthest from the truth.
Yeah.
But like this expectation that other people have placed on you
Yep.
has now created this illusion in your head.
Yep. And I think I worried too much about what other people
Right.
were thinking.
Of course, yeah.
And not only, you know, fans or then you start thinking about your family. You're letting your family down. Like you're letting your
Teammates.
parents.
Yeah.
You feel like you're letting your teammates down. Like feel like you're letting your coaches down. Like your coach is probably like, you know, like shit, like what, like, you know. So then you start like, but then that takes you away from the focus of what you really need to do.
Right. And the youth portion of it.
Yeah. Like, what do I need to do to work at this to get better?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm focused on what is so and so fan in the stands thinking about me,
Right.
what are my own teammates thinking about me? Oh, like I need to make all my kicks today because, you know, I don't want to be, you know, go home and be like,
And there
well,
you've given your power completely away.
exactly. You're thinking about things that don't. And like, I had never gone through that. And it's like being away from Florida State. You're on a brand new team. You're at the bottom of the totem pole. Like you're a rookie. So like, it was a new punter. I was the new kicker, the starting kicker.
Mm-hmm.
There was a snapper there, but like you don't want to like admit that, like, yo, like I really like I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to admit that, and I probably should have opened
Like
up
been
a little
more
bit.
transparent
been
about
more
it.
transparent. Like, yo, like I'm, you know what I mean? But like I said, I had never been through that. I didn't really want to expose weakness in myself. I didn't want to be the Superman that didn't feel like Superman anymore and say
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I got my power. Like, so I think it was a buildup of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that Monday night game, went back to the drive to win the game. I literally was like that's the probably lowest moment of my career and a mental point of like walking
you just
out.
felt terrible getting out
It's
there.
almost kind of like, I hope I make this. Like, you know, when you're in, when
Yeah,
you're
you just don't know what. Yeah, yeah, you're standing up on the tee box and you're about to hit this drive, and you're like, I have no idea where this is going to go, and I'm just like praying for the best right now.
You're just like hoping, like you literally
with way
like,
more on the line, obviously, in your situation.
Yeah. And but coming from missing 2 kicks, you made 2, but you've missed 2. If
Right.
you would have made one of those 2, you wouldn't be in the situation. But anyways, like it's
Here
coming
you are.
on this line, like, but I had already like missed in preseason, and like I wasn't living up to the second round expectation. I needed to make all my kicks, you know, going through the swing change, and it was almost everything happened so quick. And like I hit it, I looked up, it went through. It wasn't a pretty ball, it was an X ball. Like it was very like, I kind of just like forced it through. Like,
Just like, just get there, please.
yeah, just get there. Yeah. And after that, I was like, all right, like I got to figure something out because I can't do this the rest of the season.
No,
Like,
it's not the mindset you want going into it. It's not the motion you feel like you want to go into it.
And I was like, all right, like I got to I can't do the complete new swing because it's not, I don't have enough confidence in it. Like my body's not used to it yet.
Yeah.
It's a new feeling that doesn't bring confidence. So it was kind of like a hybrid between my old swing and then what I wanted to be at. And that allowed me to get a little bit more confidence, a little bit more consistency in practice. And I said, I'm going to finish the rest of the season out. And I did. And from that moment, from the Monday night game, the next game on till the last game, I think I finished like 88% or higher. Wow. Like I went to Kansas City, I won Special Teams Player of the Week.
Yeah.
I went 4 for 4 on field goals, and we won. We didn't score a touchdown.
It was a field.
Or we scored 1 touchdown, and it was 4 field goals, and we ended up winning by like a field goal. But I won Special Teams Player of the Week. Like I was like, all right, shit, like, you know, things are going well. Like, yeah. And like I said, if from there till the end of the season, till my last game, go into my last game, and I'm like, all right, like, you know, just keep on doing the same thing, whatever. So I go in, my long snapper tears his ACL in the game. He was running down on a punt, on non-contact. Just, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Just
The backup is a linebacker, Adarius Glanton. I remember his name.
Rhythm.
Oh my gosh, he looked so nervous. Okay. He was on the sidelines like, let's get snaps. Because we would practice it during the week.
But but it's a different when you're like, you don't think that's ever going to happen.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden it happens and you're like, oh man, I wasn't actually thinking I was going to do this.
Exactly. So then we go out on the field, we go to field goal. He snaps it and like doesn't get up to block.
Oh shit.
They come in there, dude.
Oh no.
So, it's whatever. And then we go another field goal. And this time I'm like, you're just
You're
hoping he
thinking like
snaps
you
it
got to
good. You're
rush
thinking,
it.
yeah, he blocks it. I kick it. It wasn't as a clean kick. It like stays and it just started fading. The wind caught it and it goes on to the right. I'm like, it's all good. Like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I missed it. Like, 0 for 2. So that hurt the stats, but like from the Monday night game
Till then.
till then,
Yeah.
like
You
I
were
think
pretty on.
if I would have made like, if I would have finished that game I think overall I would have been mid 70s maybe, mid or below or high 70s.
And what
I've
was the
done the
goal?
number
What was the
count.
goal going into that year?
The goal was just to like being the average of all the kickers was 84%.
Okay. So trying to be somewhere in that
High,
like
yeah. So to mid to high 80s.
mid to high 80s. Okay.
High 80s, you're doing really good.
Yeah.
Mid 80s, you're average. If you're low 80s,
You're
you're below average. High
Yeah.
70s, you're below average. So I was just trying to get to below 80s, after that Monday night game.
Mhm.
But up until the Monday night game, I think I was like, I don't know, like 5 for 10. I don't know. I was like low.
Yeah.
But after that season, like, they brought in Nick Folk. Hard Knocks was there. I think after just going through that, I think, there's other things that personal life, like, things that you could have done differently, and like, but obviously there's no excuse. You got to figure it out because it's a business. Like, you're
Yeah.
doing your job, and like I knew, and at a point where I think they were already the owners, the team wants consistency. They want to know they're going to have someone there that can make the kicks. And Nick Falk was a veteran, and like competing against a 8, 9, 10-year veteran, and you're a second year, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's like,
It's kind of setting that.
he's doing things where like mentally he knows physically I could outbeat him,
Right.
but mentally, like, and
He
I
knows what it
knew,
takes.
yeah. And I was kind of like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, and like he wouldn't kick it as far or as high, but every time. I'd kick it high, or I'd kick it, I'd try to hit the camera guy up there in the but like sometimes like I would miss, but I'm like, it's a miss. It looked pretty, it was high, but
it wasn't it wasn't going in.
It wasn't going in. And it's just like, man, like, and Hard Knocks was there, and I remember that's when I got released after I missed in a game. It was like our first game, preseason game. And I missed. I still hadn't shaken off what happened last year.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of like going this year, like I still kind of just wasn't fully confident, wasn't fully where I needed to be. And also it takes a toll on you, I think.
Yeah, emotional.
Emotional,
just-
like,
yeah.
you kind of like, you can't be the same. When you go out, like, you're still kind of like, and maybe I put more pressure and more focus more on that than I needed to. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I put that in my own head, like, where I can't go. Like, I can't go, to the mall because, someone's gonna ask for a picture. Or like, you hear murmurs, and like, I don't want that. Where it's
Yeah.
like, maybe I should have just like been
Just
like,
really turn off all the noise and
like,
just
whatever.
Yeah.
Then I get cut on national TV, whatever. So then I get traded. I go to the Bears, and being out of Tampa kind of helped. Like, all right, new place, new city. They ended up keeping Connor Barth, so I had time off from that 17. So from August, at the end of August, so September, October. So I had like 7, 8 weeks. And I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out my stuff because I know I'm going to get a call and I need to go. And
Right, and be ready.
I need to be ready. So full blown, like, new swing, no matter what. Like, I'm jumping, I'm burning the boats. Like, literally worked. I was at Florida State, like, training there. Like, it was a good time for like clarity, like really figure out like my stuff, because I was just band-aids, through those first year and a half of the league. And finally got my opportunity. Carolina called. Graham Gano, his knee was hurting. They didn't know if he was going to be ready. Brought me, Young Wei Koo, Andrew
Oh
Franks,
wow.
and me, I think another guy. I literally told myself, I had built the process, inside panel, smooth finish are the
Mm-hmm.
three things I tell myself before. And just go out there, like reminded like of Florida State times, like
Right.
relax, like,
Bring
have
back that
confidence,
same
bring
energy.
back that same energy. And I went 10 for 10. Like I told you how Nick Folk was,
Mm-hmm.
I literally was. And I told myself, if I trust inside panel, smooth finish, 85% chance they're going to go in. And 85% chance is like the goal,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's the number.
That's what I focused on. That was I had a process. I take my look, I take my
Mm-hmm.
step. You know what I mean? Like focused on what I need, the task.
Exactly.
Not
Focus
like
on what you
not
can
like what is Ron
control.
Rivera looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Like what Ron Rivera does. You know what I mean? Like how
Yeah.
am I, can't focus on that stuff. And went in there, boom, boom, boom. Like I remember the special teams coach like, all right, you have like your last kick, wherever you want to kick from. Kind of like,
Let's see. Yeah.
I think I went back to like 59, 60. You pick where it's like far enough, like you don't want to miss, but like not short enough
But
where
like
it's like
show like, yo,
yeah,
this guy can do it.
You don't go kick a 48. Yeah. So and I hit it and I made it, and he was like, all right. And like I think Young Wei missed like one or two. Franks missed a little bit more. He was the Miami kicker.
Yeah, I remember him.
And they ended up signing me, man. And that was the first time where like this has worked.
Yeah.
Like I trusted the process. I focused on the right stuff. Like
And
it
paid off.
works.
Yeah.
Like it works. And that's just like a little snowball effect of the like where I needed to be. And like for a split second, I was like, I wish I had this like
Mm-hmm.
in Tampa. But I went through that to put me in like where I needed to be. I fought through that adversity.
Yep,
I went
exactly.
through that adversity,
Mm-hmm.
literally hit rock bottom, and like you figured it out. And like I learned a lot from Graham and like being there. I backed him up. I never got to play in a game. He ended up being healthy, or I would kick at practice and he would just kick in the game. And then I got released in December. They needed some wide receivers for the playoffs, but they were like, Roberto, you did great. I was there for like 8 or 9 weeks, and then I competed in L.A. They had already signed Caleb. They had already guaranteed him $1 million. I beat him out in competition. He was kind of hurt still from the groin. I made all my kicks in preseason. I did what I had to do.
Right. Yeah. You controlled what you could control.
I control what I
point.
can control. The GM brings me in. I thought I was going to get signed, but you don't know until you get signed.
So it's there. Yeah.
Brings me in and he's like, Berto. He's like, to be honest, I didn't think you were going to do as good as you did. He's like, you did very well. Like you did what you needed to do.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a hard decision, and this might be the wrong decision. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but we signed Caleb and we guaranteed him $1 million. He's a veteran. We're going to end up going with him, like sticking with him. I literally was like I didn't show it. I was professional.
Of course.
Right? Like,
yeah.
But inside I was like,
what? Yeah.
What?
It's like, here I am. I had
You know
my
what I mean?
opportunity.
Like-
I did everything I could to control what I needed to control, and yet the outcome didn't pan out to be. But you know what? It goes back to like what you've been telling yourself your whole career, like
Yeah.
what is meant for you is meant for you.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, in those moments, like it just never makes sense, right?
Makes sense,
Because it's
yeah.
like everything that you were working for was for that.
Mhm.
And God's like,
Yeah.
you learned something in that
Yep,
moment,
yep.
but it ain't about playing football right
Ain't
now.
about playing football,
And
yeah.
it was about you figuring that out.
Yeah.
And now hopefully a lesson that you can now
Yeah.
carry to like next generations.
Yep.
Because that's one thing, like with adversity, is you're always not going to understand it in that moment. But
Yep.
when you look back at that moment, time will be the answer as to like why that happened. And I'm sure you could look back at that now and be like, might not make sense, but it makes sense.
Yeah. No, and there was a long time where I kind of like had bitterness or like why or like that should have been me. Like
Mhm.
I'll go more in detail in in a book, like there's
Yeah.
like different things like going on through the season. Like they brought me back to work out. Like
Yeah.
I was like, for sure, like
It's
they
got to be
ended
an
up,
emotional
yeah,
roller
yeah.
coaster with all that
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And in the meantime, like you're not getting paid.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so like, and that's the point of like, okay, I didn't get signed. That they brought me back that year. They ended up signing Badgley because they didn't want me to come in there while Caleb was still there,
Hmm.
because I left my truck over there. The punter was like, "Yo, Caleb keeps asking like, why is your truck still here?" Like he's like scared.
Yeah.
They ended up releasing Caleb like week 6, week 7. They signed Michael Badge or they signed Michael Badgley. He kicked 2 games, made all his kicks. They brought Caleb back. They wanted to bring, like, Caleb was ready, like he was healed.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went like 2 for 4 or 2 for 5. They released him. Brought Badgley back.
Damn.
And he stayed there the rest of the year. So it's like,
Yeah. There's so much
right
volatility.
place, right time. Like you
Yeah,
gotta,
true. True,
like
true.
things gotta go your way. So like,
Hmm.
you know, I worked out for a couple of teams that year, but like they ended up being fine. Like their kickers ended up being good.
Right.
Like, so at what point, like, do you like stop and
Right.
like, but it's a learning experience. I'm grateful for where I'm at. It's made me the person that I am today.
Hmm.
And it's just lessons, like you said, for the next generation, for the kids that I'm coaching now. Man, it's sometimes you tell them these stories and they're like, no way, like,
Yeah.
because they're like, I gotta, I didn't kick good. I'm like, dude, like,
Relax. Yeah.
trust me, like,
Yeah.
trust me.
Yeah.
I know,
Because
like,
you could go one of two ways there, right? You can go down
I
kind
know
of
the
like that
feeling,
rabbit hole of like,
yeah.
shit, I can't do this.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then you start stacking that
Yeah. And
that
it's
lack
like,
of
yep.
confidence essentially.
And it's like not just in sports, but like in anything.
Anything,
In
yeah.
anything. That's why I like golf so much. And like I root for like Jordan
Mhm.
Spieth, because like the thing that he had at the mat, it's kind of like the same, like
Yeah.
in front. Like he probably never went through that. He's probably like, I just duffed you in the water,
Yeah.
like in front, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like obviously like no one knows, like I don't know personally what like he was going through or what deep down like the circumstances, but like it's kind of the same thing, and like kind of good to see him back. And like I always root for him because like it's hard to go through those things, and sometimes you need good kicks, and like, but in any facet of life, in any sports personal world, you know what I mean, like you're gonna have your ups and your downs. You just got to focus on the process, focus on the task at hand, and like it's never gonna be perfect. You're never gonna have the right things.
Exactly.
Something might go wrong, and like you just gotta have your own process, trust it, get through it. Worry about what you gotta do.
Exactly.
Worry about you. Don't worry about what other people are saying about you or thinking about you. Because at the end of the day, everyone's trying to do their thing, provide for their children, provide for their family. Like, and as long as you focus on yourself, give the best that you can, try your best. You'll succeed. Good things will happen.
Absolutely.
So I know this was a long conversation, but
it's the truth of your story. It's a testament, obviously, to who you are today, and your journey made you, like you said, who you are today, and now you're able to give so much more because of it. And I think we all, we walk this path of life, and nothing's really guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
So you could do everything in your power to achieve these goals that we have in place, but there is a level of surrender that we need to have in this process of life as well, to be able to say, hey, I know I did everything I can to make it happen, but if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. And there's strength in that. And I don't think enough people are willing to accept that. And that's part of that process of excellence. It's not like that. It's like there's a fine line to it, right? It's like you don't want to just accept something because it didn't work out.
Exactly.
But there is like signs along the way. It's like, hey, this is going to be a tough decision for me to continue or not to continue. But at the end of the day, I know I gave it all I got. And that's the one thing for certain you can control.
And no, you're right. I think it's not just like, oh, it didn't happen, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but it's also like identifying yourself, knowing who you are, and keeping your identity as in yourself. Like,
True.
I identified myself as the football player, like Roberto Aguayo, the kicker.
Yeah.
When I was no longer a kicker, it was kind of like
identity crisis.
Identity crisis.
Yeah.
And like, I thought I was the only one that, but like a lot of guys, when
most athletes
like
deal with it. It doesn't even matter at what level they are and the level of success in their careers.
Yeah.
it's you've devoted so much time and energy into it that that is your actual identity.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna recognize you for anything else but that.
Yeah.
But reality is we're all human at the end
We're
of
all
the day.
human. Like I'm Roberto Aguayo. I happen to play.
I
I happen to play football. Like,
but I am not Roberto Aguayo, the kicker.
yeah.
I'm Roberto
Right,
Aguayo,
right.
the person,
Yeah.
like that happened to play
man.
football.
Exactly.
And
I'm a brother. I'm a son.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, you got to really think like it's a sport. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I did that I was really good at. You know, for one reason or another, I didn't end up playing. And like, you know, you can't get caught up in like what other people say, good or bad.
Right.
You know,
True.
You're never, like Coach Fisher, you're never as good as they say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. And you know, you got to find internally who you are, what you identify. You know, who is the person. You know, who is Roberto Aguayo.
Yeah.
And go about it. Like, you know, if you're a good attorney or if you're a good doctor, like, you're not a, you know, you're a person. And that's why when I meet people, like, I meet people for who they are. Like, who cares if they're, you know, if they're like so and so at the end of the day, or
Yeah.
like Coach Fisher would always be like, you know, you treat the janitor versus, you know, the head coach the same way because you never know. And like
100%.
at the end of the day, if you're a good person, you treat people with respect, and like you
It'll
carry
always work itself out.
Yeah, it always works itself no matter what you do, right? Like you have the work ethic, like my parents, like at a young age, like you didn't know it then, but like it was hard, you know, hard work,
Exactly.
you know, motivation, and like you learn along the way, like adversity. Like I never gone through that much of adversity. I think it sounds sometimes wrong place, wrong time, but like
For sure.
I learned, I
Timing
came up,
is a
yeah,
factor in all
timing
of
is,
this. Yeah.
and I learned from it, and like there was, like I said, there was a time where I'm like, oh, I would watch, and like, you know, these guys are the same age as me, and I'm like, I could easily be in there, and like I could, but sometimes it doesn't go your way, and you can't. What am I gonna be like? Oh, boo hoo, like
Right. Exactly.
like
Live,
for the
live
rest,
with that
yeah,
anger for the
yeah.
rest of your life.
It's a chapter in my life.
Yeah.
You close it, and like you take what you learn from it, pass it on to the next generation in whatever way, you know, by lessons, by coaching, by writing, like by doing this, like, you know. So happy to help you, and excited for State Tranquilo. It's exciting, and
appreciate it,
and you know, I want to get more involved in the Hispanic community too. So I'm doing a couple things with some people that I've met. These guys trying to transition international kickers, and like,
Nice.
maybe doing something in Mexico, like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean, like, so
Yeah.
but
You
no,
had,
man.
at the end of the day, you built a platform through your career and the success that you had in your career. Now, like that, like that's your, like, it's finding that purpose now, right? And living through that purpose through the tools that you've been provided, and the career and, you know, persona that you've built over the year. And that's one step ahead. Now it's like, what can I do with this for good?
Yeah. No.
But I love it, man. You're definitely an inspiration.
Thanks,
and
man.
you know, you obviously very exciting career, you know, as a fan, but you know, also just like as a person, like just seeing how you've kind of overcome what you've dealt with in your life is a testament to who you are. And we're excited for you and this new chapter of your life, and hope to do some more stuff together.
Definitely, man. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Enjoyed
sir.
it.
Absolutely appreciate it, bro. All right, you get it.